Well, today was Wednesday, and I thought we did a nice job today. We are, I think we're creating good habits in practice. I really appreciate our scout team. I know I say it a lot, but they're so crucial to us getting a look. And one area I thought we improved was on our kickoff coverage and kickoff return units. At least the practice was very sharp. And not perfect, but I see progress there. That was nice to see. But anyway, you guys can ask me what you want to ask.
Y'all worked any extra on the kickoff coverage this week?
Not extra, but just, I would say maybe more of an emphasis on just teaching these young guys exactly how to do what they're supposed to do. And I just thought the reps were very good. We had some Monday, we had some today.
You had,
Yeah, it was good. This kid, number 25, can really go, and he's dangerous. And they I think they had 2 touchdowns already this year. So we better get better. I don't think our kicker can hem this guy up.
I was just following up on that. You had mentioned that 9 true freshmen were on that. At different incarnations, different years you've said we're going to put some veterans out there. You know, I don't care if you're on first team or not. Did you do some of that this week? Or?
That was our original plan, and we're still getting those guys in position to work. But there's some areas where we're thin. When you're thin in certain position areas, you get a little concerned about getting guys on the specials. You don't. Have we really bitten the bullet like we should? I don't know, but it's just like when Rico McGraw gets hurt, and then all of a sudden we got to make some moves, and we were thinner at certain spots, and we pulled Mauger off the kickoff return team last week. And there's been a few other things like that over time. We get a Reggie Carter issue or whatever it may be. When your depth gets thin, you get more concerned about that. And the other thing is, I'll say this, these freshmen are talented. These freshmen are very capable physically to be really good. So it's not like we're throwing guys out there that don't have the ability. We're throwing guys out there that don't have the experience. And that's where we just got to keep working hard with these guys.
How receptive has Keith Marshall been in that aspect as a veteran to step in on the kickoff coverage team?
Well, that's been good for the young guys to have him there, and his job, is a very important one. And at this moment, we have enough depth at the at the running back position where we're not as concerned. We got Sony starting on 3 units right now. But I guarantee if something, last year when you have some of the running back issues we had, I guarantee they wanted to run back on those teams last year. It was just one of those years.
Mark, about the game itself, it's rather historic since Georgia's never played a historically black school. In fact, only half of the teams in the SEC can say as much. One would think maybe in scheduling there might be some stimulating factors behind scheduling a historically black school, but did you say yesterday the conference schedules the...
Well, somebody asked me the timing of these games, of non-conference games, FCS games. That was the question of, do you like them this time of year, early, middle, late? What I was talking about is, the SEC will make the schedule and then we kind of plug in.
Not necessarily the opponent. They don't make the opponent.
No, they don't.
Okay.
They don't. Now, every once in a while, in the ESPN or even the league might get in the middle of something like that, but not to my knowledge on this one, or really. And sometimes those kickoff games, and like we're about to play, I think, North Carolina next year. So ESPN will come to you and say, "How are you interested in doing that?" Or Gary Stokan will come to us and say, "Are you interested in a game like that?" Or so there'll be some outside interest that'll get involved sometimes.
What have you seen out of the 2 corners, Parrish and Davis, first 3 games?
Solid. I'm trying to remember of any deep balls right now that went for touchdowns. Most of the more explosive pass plays have been down the middle, it seems like. I can't remember any on the edges, so, and, those guys are very involved in supporting the run. And overall, I think they've done, a very nice job.
Touching on Keith Marshall again, talking to him yesterday, he says that he feels like physically he feels that he can perform as well. I mean, running in a straight line, everything else as he did as a freshman year before the knee injury. How have you seen him adjust to? I mean, it's a new role. He's third team, and those other guys are playing well in front of him.
He's shown up every day and worked hard. He's had a good attitude. I've got, no complaints with him. I think whatever role we're asking him to play, he's playing to the best of his ability. I haven't seen any bad body language in practice or anything like that. He's been a very good teammate.
Grayson when talking to him yesterday, we were speaking about the tempo of the offense in practice, and he said there was, I guess at one point, and I'm not sure what day it was, where you told the guys were like 8 minutes ahead of schedule. Is that just indicative of how fast they were going?
I think some of that is just maybe the number of plays we might have scripted. We might have misscripted a little bit, but
Okay.
I don't know if we're going that lightning speed, but there is good tempo in between snaps. And if you go by old scripts and how many plays per minute, how many the way we practiced before, if we huddled in between every play, you just didn't get nearly as many plays. So we didn't decide to add a whole bunch more plays because we could. We're like, hey, you get it done, and you get it done correctly, and then you may get a little break in the action, then we'll go to the next period. So there's an incentive to not only go with good tempo, but execute, because any play that's not executed properly, they just re-rack it and do it again. So, if they have good tempo and don't make a lot of mistakes, they will get ahead of the schedule, and they will get a little bit more of a break than they normally would.
When you're considering taking on a transfer, someone like Jake Gaines or Grayson Lambert, how much do you talk to the former coaching staff that player was on?
In this case, I didn't talk with either of the coaches. Some of our assistants may have. I really don't know. By them being able to, have a release and have permission to speak, those are grown kids, and so we were able to bring them on campus and meet them and get to know them for ourselves. And I think their body of work. I mean, both of them starters, both of them captain-like material. Grayson graduated in 3 years. I mean, there's just all the signs of dealing with the right people. So it wasn't like you had some guys that had issues. They're leaving your program. Why are they leaving your program? It was obvious why Jake left, and then it was very public why Grayson left.